Streaming from Oklahoma's own digital studio, this is OSU Football Update, brought to you by Braum.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning into this OSU Cowboy Football Podcast, getting ready for the final game of the 2025 season. We want to thank our sponsor, Braum, of course, and we will take a moment to break for them in a little bit. But first, special guest today, the sideline reporter for the Cowboy Radio Network, but he's not just that. He's a really good friend, Robert Allen, and Robert's last game on the sidelines on radio for us is coming up this weekend against Iowa State. So, let's just start with this. You know it's coming, it's all of this, but how are you processing things right now?
Because you know me pretty well.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm glad to be here because I've caught a lot of the podcasts, and I'm kind of like, God, John doesn't want me on this. But there was method to his madness. He was waiting to do this because he's known for quite some time. I was going to hang up the sideline microphone after this season. Yeah, I'm processing good. Let's not talk about the coin that the officials gave me last week. That chokes me up.
I can't do that?
No,
Okay.
Well, we can talk about it, but I mean, you know, little gestures like that. And I mean, when you're in my position, there are so many players that I've dealt with, so many coaches that I've dealt with. The one thing that has been constant is my team, which is the captain, Dave Hunziker, John Holcomb, Joe Riddle, back before as a producer engineer. And I know Joe's up in Tulsa. I don't know if he watches his podcast, but Joe was, could we not have had two diametrically different producer engineers than Joe Riddle and now Britt Lockhart? And Britt is our producer engineer now. And I mean, what a guy. And, to work with professionals like that for all these years, and we've been a team for 20 since Mike Gundy became head coach. He came on board with, and then Britt came along in 2011.
Yep.
He's the luckiest dude of all. He came on in the Big 12 championship year. So that's me. That's my phone.
It might have been mine, too.
But
Here, I'll do that for you, too.
Okay, there you go. Put them down.
Okay.
I silenced mine, too, which that doesn't always happen. Usually it'll ring in something like
And
this.
it's a Tom Petty ringtone, too.
It is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'll go to my grave enjoying. And you know what? People ask me all the time, what's the most fun about your job? They'd be amazed. The most fun is the hour to 2 hours we're in that booth before the pregame starts, which is 2 hours before the start of the game. So hours, 3 and 4 before the game. And we're there most of the time. Sometimes it may be an hour and a half. Sometimes we squeeze it an hour. Most of the time it's close to 2 hours. That's my guy time with my guys. And I may just come to the booth just to do that.
Okay.
Not be a part of the broadcast. Hey, I just came in for the social aspects, but no, it's, we've had a great team, and I've had so many people compliment our broadcast. I'm just proud to have been a part of it.
Well, some people say, well, sideline reporter, you don't get enough credit. I'll just go ahead and say this and sing your praises, because not only are you seeing things from that perspective that have helped me and helped Dave tremendously, but the preparation part, and we talked about this before, that if you don't enjoy the preparation, then this probably isn't a great job for you, but you take it the extra mile, and I do not know what I'm going to do without your scouting reports moving forward.
You want to hear something funny?
What's that?
Because, nobody's announced anything, and I'm not picking my successor, but we've kind of trained Deion Amade a little. He's been up in the booth with you guys, been a part of our pregame with Clint Shelf and Adam Hildebrand. But I think Deion really wants it. So the other day, because I do a scouting report for the crew, and the other day I asked Deion, I said, you read these scouting reports? And Deion goes, yeah, I read them the day before the game. He goes, I like to watch and do my own and kind of write my own notes down, and then compare them to what you did to see, how close I was. And I said, well, or how far off I was, maybe, I don't know. But I said, I think he intends to pick that up.
Good.
So, and you know what? You guys may learn this Deion Amade guy knows a lot more than Robert does. I mean, they may be even better.
Yeah. Well, what I enjoyed about it a lot, and it really helped me prepare because, as you know, first year for me, I'm just trying to tread water. And as I've said before, it was more about feeling like I needed to sound like I knew more than I did, which I found out pretty quickly is not the way to go. You just keep it simple. But but for detail, let me just tell you about the detail. Not just the percentage of times that an opponent would blitz, but it was what types of blitz. Steeler, Wheeler, all those types of things. So the amount of time you've spent pouring into that, obviously you have to have a passion, and some people may not know you played here at OSU as well.
Yeah, not very well. Well, not very well, but yeah, I put my time in, and it's that's why right now I know people are going to say, well, you're not carrying back too many memories from these last year or two. Let me tell you something. Parker Robertson is going to, in my book, as one of the greatest players I've ever covered. Mm-hmm. First of all, he's a walk-on, which I can appreciate. Second of all, he's from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which I can appreciate. Third, he's that guy that, I mean, it's like Doug Meacham said in the news conference. He goes, if he goes to the coin toss, people think he's the kicker. Or, they look over and go, oh, we're going to kick these guys. This is a guy that's coming out for the toss. But you talk about a guy that will knock you into the next century and laugh about it. And we were talking to him about Jaden Nixon. I mean, he hit Jaden Nixon like Jaden Nixon stole his car from him. I mean, or stole his girlfriend. I mean, he hit Jaden Nixon twice in Orlando. That I'm like, wow. I mean, I'll walk away with Parker Robertson being, up here on my list of guys that I've covered, but that's the hard thing. You got to read it on the plane because I've got a letter. I don't know when I'll release it. It may not be out before this body. It won't be probably. But when you start thinking about names of people and, here's the funny thing, and I hope he doesn't watch this podcast. Did you notice one name that wasn't on that letter you read the first run of? That should be, because he's been with me on the sidelines.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have Dennis Smith. Dennis, I'm sorry. You since have your own, couple of sentences. But when you start thinking about 25 years and what you're doing, guy, you got to think about it because it's real easy to lose track of some things that are really important. But to me, at the end of the day, I said it to start this. The team and the times we've had together and the laughs, the Uber drivers,
Whoa.
That's what's important. I mean, the wins were pretty cool and the bowl games and all that, but just the times and putting together good radio. Mm-hmm. I know that Dave really values that. His life as a play-by-play guy. You do TV. I did TV for a while. I do horse racing in the summer. But to put broadcast together, and we know when we've done a good broadcast. And I tell you what, in this last year and I guess 2 seasons have been tough, but I told you what Eric Roark said. He was with us in Lubbock. And the next day, he called me and said, I would have thought you guys were broadcasting for a team that was on their way to the national championship. You guys knew everything you needed. He goes, professional. He goes, the broadcast just sounds good. That's where Brick comes in.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's another thing. There have been a couple of times that the next day Sirius XM used to rebroadcast a lot of the games. Mm-hmm. And I'd be driving somewhere and it'd be us. Mm-hmm. And I'd start listening. I'm like, damn, we're good. and a lot of it's Britt because you'd hear, he gets TV effects. He has Dennis with that big mic on the sidelines. We have nicknames for her we won't get into. And I'm like, I feel like I'm in the stadium. And that's the Brit effect. And so just to be a part of those broadcasts and people to compliment them and knowing how hard and how much we care, that's cool.
Sounds like a good place for us to take a little break and hear from our sponsor, Braum's. We'll be back, and when we come back,
The crinkle fries.
that's right. When we come back, I'll ask you kind of a little bit of rapid fire, favorite, least favorite type of stuff. Okay. All right. Here's a word from our sponsor.
It's time to enjoy the sweet taste of Braum's Strawberry Shortcake Sundae. Our creamy vanilla ice cream is nestled on top of Braum's fresh-baked golden bundt cakes, with spoonfuls of delicious strawberry topping all around, complete with fluffy whipped cream and a cherry to create the perfect flavor combination. Strawberry goodness is waiting for you at Braum's.
Okay, we're back with Cowboy Sideline reporter, Cowboy Radio Network Sideline reporter Robert Allen. Final game Saturday against Iowa State. He's been a friend for a long time. Actually, the first game that you and I were on the same crew for, I think was it your first year in 2002?
Yeah, because you subbed.
For Tom
I think
Dorado.
Tom was up in Alaska for basketball. Yeah, I remember that.
So it was Bedlam 2002 here in Stillwater. Cowboys obviously successful that day. So it was a lot of fun.
I said that day we should keep you.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Over your time in this particular job, I know that you're probably going to have a list, but if you had to boil it down to maybe 2 or 3 favorite moments, it could be wins, it could be whatever sticks out to you.
2 things, and you know the first one.
Yes.
We beat Alabama.
I know,
Now,
yeah.
Okay, now, you knew you were going to do this.
Well, you can't help it. Listen, this is one of the things that I love about you.
No, because your son snaps it. A kid you watch grow up holds it.
Yeah.
And then Jason Ricks,
Nails it.
wherever you are, Jason Ricks, kicked it. And here's the crazy thing. I'm looking here. Who am I looking at?
Oh, you're looking at Mr. Pickens.
Looking at Ben Pickens.
Yeah.
He's not going to like this story. But hey, he ended up with the ball.
Yeah.
So Joe DeForest is a special teams coordinator. Okay, let me say that coherently. Zach Allen snapped the ball. Cole Reynolds held it.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Ricks, the winning kick, beat Alabama in the Independence Bowl. Okay, got myself together.
There you go.
So Joe DeForest sends one of the managers up into the stands because there was no all-state netting there in Shreveport.
No, there was not.
And he goes up and he finds the guy that caught the ball. He gets the ball, brings it back down, and this was at the end of the game. He tells Coach DeForest, this is the winning kickball. So we go in the locker room, and Mike does his post game. Mike Gundy does his, and this was Mike's second year, his first bowl win ever. And when he's done, he goes, "Anybody got anything?" And Joe goes, "Yeah, I do." And he has the ball. He says, "Coach, game ball, your first bowl game." And this is the one that went through the uprights. Mm-hmm. So Mike catches it. And I mean, Mike doesn't even hesitate. He immediately catches the ball and pitches it like 4 feet to his side to Boone Pickens. Said, "Mr. Pickens, thanks for all you've done." Mm-hmm. I'm back there going, "No, keep that ball. Are you crazy? I mean, if you don't want it, I'll take it. I'll take it home with me." And you know, it's probably in the Boone Pickens Museum, which is okay. Yep. That's fine. But I mean, I personally would prefer it be in Mike Gundy's office. But no, Joe. I mean, and I think Joe was shocked.
Yeah.
When Mike just quick. I mean, Joe worked hard to get, and that manager worked even harder because he probably had to bargain with somebody up in the end zone at Shreveport's Independence Stadium. But yeah, it went to Boone. The other one is team. They're out of cookies in the press box.
Yes.
That's the famous John Holcomb line. We're doing the Tulsa game, 2011. And it's supposed to kick off at 9
p.m.
Yeah, p.m. We go on the air at 7. At 9, Tulsa's getting a hellacious thunderstorm. I mean, rock and roll. And, you know, we're into a delay. I'm in the locker room with our gear already set up down. That's back when we didn't cell phone and record. We actually had the what they call a dry pair. Everybody needs a dry pair. And so I'm hooked up, and Coach Gundy says, yeah, if you want to talk to the assistant coaches, they're okay with it. So Mike had snuck off upstairs because of Glenn Spencer's wife, who passed away that night, and Glenn was being rushed back to Stillwater. And then the funniest line, I'll remember this line forever. We come back from a break, and Dave Hunziker, because we stayed on the air. We could have gone back to Learfield. We could have played the coach's show on tape. We could have done all kinds of things. And Dave's like, no, we got enough material. We got enough ingenuity here. We're going to stay on the air. And we come back from a break, and Dave goes, well, John, you've gone next door to the, with the rest of the media over there. Is there anything new news you know of? And John goes, well, Dave, they're out of cookies in the press box, which that was a disaster. I get it.
It was
So
factual.
the guy in the end zone that stays out there by himself, we had fun describing the play-by-play on that. But, yeah, we did, I don't know, 10 hours at least. I know this. When I got home, the sun was coming up. Game didn't end until after 3 o'clock, closer to 3:30 in the morning. I just thought that was an unbelievable, and I think, I'm not going to say every moment was entertaining, but I thought, for considering everything that was going on, we did one heck of a broadcast, and I don't know that I'll ever be a part of something that impressive, that long, from a broadcast standpoint ever again. So that's a memory. Third, there's all kinds, but I'd have to throw, there's two others real quick. Iowa State in 11 and got beat. And the thing I remember is what Mike Gundy said to the team in the locker room after it was over. First of all, it was just him and the team. Everybody else, assistant coaches, managers, trainers, everybody else was outside. John Stem and I had our ears to that big metal door, and I could hear Mike tell the team, guys, you have no idea. You have no idea how you've screwed up tonight. No idea. You're going to wake up in the morning, if you're up early enough and you watch game day, they're going to explain what you gave up tonight. Chance to play for a national championship. Because Mike knew that. But then he turned it around and said, those guys in that other locker room that are celebrating right now, they had a week off to prepare for you. And it's obvious they did their job. And they came out tonight. You can't say anything other than hand it to the Cyclones. They won the game. He goes, you have a week off now before you play the most important game of this season against the team everybody that you play for wants to beat badly. What are you going to do? And, opened up a can of whoop-you-know-what on OU. So that, and then the final one, real simply, Notre Dame, bucket list. Halftime, it didn't look good, but heck of a second-half comeback, and Oklahoma State. So I've called games, not the first one with you. You weren't around for the Alabama deal, but the Notre Dame deal.
I was there for Alabama.
Well, you were there, but
I was.
Yeah, but to say, I called a game for my school, and they beat Alabama and they beat Notre Dame. Those are cool.
So we could, obviously, we could spend hours more talking.
Yeah, we
about
could,
all of it,
and I don't think anybody would spend it with us.
But I will say this: that for what you do, how you've conducted yourself, and the people you've gotten to know, and the knowledge that you've shared, you brought this up.
There's a deputy sheriff in Austin, Texas, that would disagree with you.
That's true. That's true. But that speaks more to your passion.
Yeah.
About trying to get to the stadium on time.
Yeah.
But you mentioned it. You went out down to the field Saturday in Orlando, and you got a gift from the officiating crew. That's pretty sweet.
I can. This will be the first time I think I'd do it without tearing up. Scott Gaines, I've known him forever. He's from Lincoln, Nebraska. He's, by the way, Scott, it was interference in the second half. You should have flagged that dang thing. And then Stuart Shockey, he's from Wichita, Kansas. See, Dave and I have been to all these officials clinics and we, and then I get to know them on the field. Those guys come over to me before the game, and they knew, because I've talked to officials throughout the season that I know, Michael Vandervelde and David Alvarez and Stewart, because we had him in an earlier game. So they knew. Well, I hadn't seen Scotty, and he comes over with Stewart, said, we want you to have this. And it's one of the coins that's minted by the Big 12 they use in the coin toss. It's got the Big 12 logo on one side and all the schools on the other. And, I mean, I've seen that coin since the Big 12 started. I've seen it a bunch. And they said, not everybody gets these. You know, he goes, not even everybody on the officiating crew gets them. They're mainly given to referees and umpires, you know. And I said, why do the umpire? Well, because if the referee dies during the game, the umpire may have to flip a coin in overtime. So no, he was joking. But, yeah, it was pretty cool for them to give that. And for them to say, hey, you do it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you have.
No, they haven't heard everything I've said about them.
No, but at least in front of them.
Yeah, and I didn't mention Scott Gaines last Saturday, but I when I was watching it on tape later, watching the video, I'm like, dang, Scott missed that call. It really ticked me off, but you know.
Well, now you can get to just really excoriating whoever you want now after Saturday, and it won't matter.
I've got season tickets here that I've had for a long time that I'm told I won't be able to use. I'm like, why? I mean, they're good seats. I mean, we've moved up a lot. And, you know, everybody I've talked to, Tommy Tubbs, Billy Tubbs' son, had them for his nephew's last game last year, senior day, and he goes, Robert, you're not going to be able to sit around those people. They are not. They will make you mad. So we'll see what happens. But I'll be somewhere in the stadium.
Yeah, I know.
And there'll be times before I'll just go for some guy time up in the booth.
You'll be welcome whenever you want to be there, and so will any sort of, if you have downtime and you're bored and you decide to put a scouting report together, I'll always take it. Right? Robert, thanks. You're a good friend, and I thoroughly enjoyed working with you all these years and just sharing that.
We still see each other. I'm not, I mean, you know, so.
Yeah. But for these purposes,
yeah,
we'll wrap this up. For Robert Allen, I'm John Holcomb. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our sponsor, Braum's.
Thank you for watching this Oklahoma's own digital studio stream. Stay with News on 6 online and on television anytime for the latest news, weather, and sports.